Okay, chat. Some of you guys do know that I have played a good variety of Resident Evil, and what we should do is we should do a trial list of all of the Resident Evil games. There are some of them that is on this list that I actually haven't played, but there's actually a good amount of them that I have played that is over on my gaming channel. Actually, if you guys haven't watched any of them, the link is down in the description, or if you're actually watching this on live stream, is you get the little banner here that actually tell you all my socials, or it's down in my bio or down in the panel. So here we go. Okay, what we are doing here is I have 4 trial lists. We got amazing, good, bad, or never played. Okay, so I do see 4 at the beginning that I haven't played. So basically this is Resident Evil 1. This is the original, a matter of fact. Okay, so what we got here, we got 4 trial lists that is amazing, good, bad, and never played. I am gonna go ahead and say this. The first 4 that is on this list is like the OG, like the original Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil 2, 3, and Survivor. I haven't played these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys know I haven't played any of these original 3 trilogies here, and plus Survival. I haven't played Gaiden, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I haven't played Survivor 2. I haven't played Dead Aim. I haven't played Outbreak. And I think this is Outbreak 2. Or Part 2. Umbrella Chronicles. I do know that Umbrella Chronicles is on the Wii. Never played it. And also Darkside Chronicles I haven't played. Okay. We got the never played out of the way. Yeah, there's actually a good amount of these, actually. A lot of some of you guys are saying, oh, you need to play these. What I really want to play is Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles, actually. That's what I really want to play. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be starting off with Resident Evil 0. Do anybody remember that when I did the my marathon stream playthrough of all of the Resident Evils that leads up to Village? This happened back in 21. I'm gonna go ahead and some of you guys are in chat probably knows about this. I'm gonna go ahead and say playing through Resident Evil 0 back in 2019 was a good game. That plus I did have to had a guide just to figure out how to do, like how to go through the game and everything like that. When we actually played Resident Evil 0 when we was making our way up to Resident Evil 2 remake, actually. This was back on Mixer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys know. But my second playthrough of Resident Evil 0, we actually went through it with no problems at all. I didn't have to use any guides or anything like that because I didn't realize how easy it was. So yeah, so Resident Evil 0 is it's an amazing game. Mostly if you have played like the original. Well, here's the thing: you actually have to play like the original or understand like the original story to understand 0, but no matter 0 is taking place before the events of 1, but I'm just gonna go by the way that we played it, and I think we actually need another Trellis. Which, from on top of amazing, let's do favorite. Let's add it above, actually. We got a new here. Let's actually delete that well. Okay. Okay. Let's actually see what we're gonna do here. Alright, now we actually add it. Resident Evil is amazing game. Resident Evil 0 is such a amazing game. Just gonna go ahead and say that. No, I was a little bit newer to Resident Evil 0 back in 2019, so I didn't really grow up playing 1 and 2 and 3 when I was growing up. Like, the only Resident Evil I did start up, it was 4, actually. Alright, we got Resident Evil. This is the remastered version. We have played the Jill side of the story. We haven't really done the quizzes. Basically, quizzes and Jill is basically the same thing, but like, Jill have like different skills and quizzes have different skills. I may want to play back through Resident Evil, actually, and do the quiz side, and see what's the difference, like the dialogue and everything like that. I do know, like, Jill's companions is Jill and Barry, and like Chris' side of the story is like Chris and Rebecca Chambers. But I actually put Resident Evil is a. I'm probably gonna actually put it in a amazing game. Actually, Code Veronica. We actually played this actually right before Resident Evil 4 remake. We played it on. We played it on the Dolphin, actually. The Dolphin Room, if you guys remember that. I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember that. We did had to use cheats. I don't know why I'm L-cutting down. Yes, we did had to use cheats so we can actually beat the fucking game, because Code Veronica was fucking hard as shit. But honestly, I really did enjoy Code Veronica. When we played it, that was my first playthrough. Gonna go ahead and let you guys know we did have to use a guide, just didn't really know everything. No matter, there was some moments that I did feel like we missed a lot. That plus, like, we actually got lost a few times, if you guys remember that. But Code Veronica is a amazing game. Resident Evil 4. Gonna go ahead and let you guys know this, okay? Resident Evil 4 was the first Resident Evil I actually got into when I was such a little kid. I remember my uncle had the Resident Evil 4, like, it was like the Resident Evil 4 bundle GameCube. Actually, it had like the village art all over the GameCube. It's a limited edition one GameCube, actually. They only made like so much of it. I do remember that. God, man, chat. When we played through it back in 21, actually, you guys should have known. I played Resident Evil 4 Original so many fucking times that I remembered the fucking lines by heart, even before, like, the characters even said it. I actually done it throughout my streaming series playthrough. That is over on my main channel. Resident Evil 4 is honestly like my favorite Resident Evil of all time. I think it's because I kind of like grow up into it and I played a crap ton of it. That plus like I was so young, like no matter like I remember like my first time like fully beaten the game was actually, man, I don't even remember like what year it was, but I remember it was like during the summertime and my uncle actually helped me like beat it and everything like that. It was so good. It was so good. I feel like the only thing I kind of wish that I did do was I kind of wish I got more into mercenaries, because I wasn't like crazy fan of mercenaries back in the day for Resident Evil 4. If I got more into mercenaries, I could have like unlocked like the hand cannon. That's what I could have done. Like every single time I did play mercenaries, I usually like choose like two characters, was like Honk and Krauser. That's basically it. Resident Evil 5. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I loved the Resident Evil timeline and the lore, everything, but Resident Evil 5 was it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it's not amazing. There are some of my favorite moments in Resident Evil 5. I'm kind of hoping that whatever remake they're actually going to do next, I'm pretty sure it's probably be Resident Evil 5. I'm actually hoping that it'd be a little bit more better than what they did in the original 5. 5, it's it's a good game. If you like Resident Evil in general, I actually will recommend you playing this. If you want to learn about the lore and everything like that. Now, plus, I still think that Wesker is still alive. Just gonna go ahead and there are theories about that. The Mercenaries, Resident Evil 3D. This is for the 3DS, chat. This is for the 3DS. Drum roll, please. This game is really fun, actually. But there's not really like a whole lot you can do, because like you had to like beat all of the challenges. You had to get like all of the challenges up to like so many. I think you have to like get like a triple S on like so many stages, so you can get like the alternate skins and everything like that. But whenever you unlock Wesker and the Mercenaries, you pretty much OP, basically. The one thing I kind of wish they could have done, I kind of wish they actually could have done a little bit more work into Mercenaries, because there actually has been like thoughts that they actually was going to put Leon, and I think it was just Leon. Yeah, I think it was just Leon, chat, and then it got cancelled. What was all of the characters in it? Never played it. You had Rebecca, Chris, Jill, Claire, Wesker. I think Krauser was in it too. I'm probably wrong. And I think Honk. This actually was a good like category of characters, actually. There really was. Let me look. Yes, you have Chris, Jill, actually Barry, Claire, Wesker, Rebecca, Krauser, and then Honk. I feel like the only characters I really haven't played when I played Mercenaries actually was I didn't really play much as Barry and Rebecca. I did play Jill and Chris a little bit, but whenever I unlock like Krauser, I went to Krauser 100%, but I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't actually add his ultimate ability was the Lucifer Nado's arm. Honk has a little bit more of like a different moveset than it was in 4. Wesker basically was like the same movesets. What about the Mercenaries in 5? I never played with. I haven't really did Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries. I really didn't. I did heard that you can unlock like the suit, whatever that suit Jill was wearing in 5. That a lot of people actually was fapping to, but the Mercenaries, it's not a bad game. I kind of wish they could have did more potential. I kind of wish it had more potential. Actually, it's a good like pastime game. That place you can play with other. You can play with other players. Vibe out, kill some time. It's a good game. It's not bad like a lot of people actually think it is. Resident Evil Revelations. My first time playing Resident Evil Revelations was back on the 3DS. Actually, it's really good. And then I decided to buy it on PS3. Just haven't like got to it, and then I bought it on Steam. And then when we did our Resident Evil playthrough, that was like my going back to it for like so many years. Resident Evil Revelations actually really good. It's really good. If you guys haven't played Revelations, man, it's actually on my top favorites, to be honest. For the people that doesn't know like what part of the story it was taking place in, it's in between 4 and 5. Just gonna go ahead and let you guys know. Operation Raccoon City. This game was okay. It's more arcadey, basically. Yeah, it's more arcadey. That plus you kind of get like a more of a different perspective of the Raccoon City incident. It's a fun game, yes. That plus you can play through like different characters, stuff like that. That plus you can actually play as the good guys. God, I don't remember the good guy's name. You basically like the main story. You play as the USS. They're basically like the Secret Service for Umbrella, and then you can play. Oh man, it's been so long, chat. I'm actually have to look this up. You can't even buy it anymore. True. If you have it, you have it. I think we need to do another playthrough of it. If it is actually still one through, actually. Yeah, so basically, Operation Raccoon City is taking place in a mix of 2 and 3. You do battle, Nemesis in one mission. You battle a lot of freaking Mr. X's. I do remember that. The UBCS, yes, that's one of the teams. The UBCS is taking place throughout, like, the moments of 3. I do remember that. That plus you have, like, the boss fight with Nemesis right at the end. It's a okay-ish game. It's not... You know what? Let's actually add another row. And say... It's okay. We may do Mercenaries on it, and we put Operation Raccoon City on it. Resident Evil 6. I don't really understand why like a lot of people give this game so much hate. I actually enjoy playing through Resident Evil 6. That plus you do return back to the beloved characters. That plus you get introduced with Jack Miller. That is basically, well, I shouldn't really say because of spoilers and everything like that for people that haven't played Resident Evil 6. If you like the lore to Resident Evil, I would recommend you play 6. But here's the thing, you got like so many storylines, it's insane. But I like how they also will collide together at like a certain point in throughout the story. Resident Evil 6, it's actually a really good game. It's not bad. I don't really understand why a lot of people hate 6. I really don't understand it. Like 6 was good to me. Honestly, it really is. That plus you see Sally for the first time since 2. Yeah, that plus you see Leon since 4. You see Chris since 5. You see a lot new. You get introduced with new characters. And a good variety of characters and zombies too. Resident Evil Revelations 2. My first playthrough of Revelations 2 was back on the PS3. I remember my uncle actually got it around my birthday time actually. I feel like the full game like kind of like released kind of a little bit narrowed. I think it was like near my birthday because I remember getting it around my birthday and actually playing it through it. I didn't really quite understand it like my first playthrough, but whenever we play through it, I was like, okay, I kind of a little bit understand it a little bit more. There's a lot of spoilers. Resident Evil Revelations 2 is taking place in between 5 and 6. Basically, like right at the end is when Resident Evil 6 starts. Basically, Revelations 2, it's actually really short. It's really short actually. That place you got, it's multiple endings. Just depends on what you choose throughout the main story. It's a good game, honestly. It's not amazing. It's not bad. That place you see Claire, you see Barry since freaking Resident Evil 1. Yeah, you actually do play as Claire. We haven't seen a girl Claire Pie since Code Veronica. A lot more often. Get to learn about a lot of Barry's family life in the mix of since the last time we seen Barry was in the events of 1. So it's a good game. It's a good game. It's not amazing, but it's a good game. Umbrella Corps. God, this game though, I can't believe it's actually is canon according to Capcom, but it is canon. That place there is a lot of references that will lead up to future Resident Evil games. Umbrella Corps is taking place kind of after the events of, if I remember, I think it's actually taking place right after the, or like kind of like in the mix or right before the mix of 6. A matter of fact, that place you go back to old locations. It's more like a mobile type game because a lot of these mobile type games is like, oh, you got different stages. You had to like beat the time or get like so many kills, like a certain time rate, and you get waiting for like 1 star to 2 star to 3 star. This is basically what this game is. That place it's made from a mobile gaming company. It's to be Resident Evil, if you haven't played it, I actually will give it a chance, but it's not... I feel like I'm being so lighthearted to these games because I actually do enjoy all of the Resident Evil games. I think having the bad tab is kind of a little bit like, because I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's more like in between okay and bad. Like it's a way different game, basically. That plus is third person. There's I do remember like some of the stages that we played through it was really, really fucking challenging. I do remember that.
When sweet tarts dared to combine sweet and
but
why stop there? Why not create other exciting and unexpected combinations?
I probably put it in bad. It's not really bad. I think it's like top of bad, but it's like right in the middle of it's okay. I think it's more like to me.
Sweet tarts dare to combine.
That's what I probably would do. It's Resident Evil Biohazard. So this is when the reboot starts up. Resident Evil Biohazard is really good, actually. It's not my favorite game, to be honest. It's a little bit more different. We go to first person a bit. Yes, they get the horror vibes back because from Resident Evil 6, like Resident Evil 6 was really like action packed. It wasn't really like all horror, no matter it had that horror. It was in the horror genre, but it wasn't really horror. But Resident Evil, that plus the DLCs, actually, it's in the good category. It's not amazing. Resident Evil 2. This is the remake. This game is... This game's one of my top favorites. I can probably say that. It's a good game. That plus whenever Resident Evil 2 Remake actually released, this was actually my first playthrough of 2. No matter a lot of people said, oh, the original actually have a lot more bosses in it. But Remake just give you like, oh, this is what really happened. And you don't have to worry about all of this other bosses that was in original. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorites. I do remember that you do get Resistance with Resident Evil 2. So basically, Resistance is kind of like DBD a little bit, but in the Resident Evil world. You have like the different characters, and then you have like the overseer, and then you have like the different bosses. I think you have to do like certain tasks to be able to beat the game. No one plays this. I try playing it, no one plays it. This is kind of like this feel like a little bit like Resident Evil Versus, but Resident Evil Versus more like PvP. But Resistance, it's because you don't see no one plays it. That's basically why that no one plays it. I kind of wish that I actually will play this if people actually will play it. Resident Evil 3 Remake. It's short, actually. A lot of people give it so much shit because there's like a lot of content that was cutted out from Resident Evil 3. The original Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil Remake was my first playthrough of like playing the story of like what went down in Resident Evil 3. It's a good game, to be honest. It's a good game, honestly. I did enjoy it. I didn't hate any moment of it. It was really short, because a lot of people say the original 3 is a lot longer. So I give it a good. It's not bad. We're gonna do Resident Evil Versus before we get into Village. I did try this off stream. It's another to me. It's just PvP basically. There was actually some of these Resident Evil fans that have played this probably since the release date, whenever it did release, and they're like really good at it. It's really PvP. It's kind of a little bit like arena type PvP, because you do start up like just a basic zombie or like some sort of zombie abomination, and then you have to get like certain power-ups until you get like a certain moment in your power-ups you can become a villain of whatever you can actually choose. It's okay. But it's another to me. Village. When we played through Village, it was on my old PC. That place we did had a lot of frame problems with it, but we went back to Village and played Shadow of Worlds like right before Resident Evil 4 Remake release. And I've got to say, I may get back into Village later this year and redo it. That's what I probably would do with the new PC. We did have problems right when we get like fully into the game. The first problem was the Dillykins with the big giant Dillykins with the hammer. We had like a lot of frame problems with that, and then we got to the castle with the 3 sisters. We did have a lot of problems with that, and then a little bit later on we went through it with the problems. That was like the only frame problems that we actually had. Village is really good. It's amazing, actually. It's actually really amazing. Resident Evil 4 Remake. It is on my favorite tab. It's gonna be right next to Resident Evil 4. Such a good game. Such a good game. You need to play it? We already played it. We played it back around... It was like March... Was it March 26th, 29th when it released last year? It was like late March of last year that we... When we played it. We played through it. We had no problems with it. We played separate ways back in October. It's good. I may actually get back into it and actually try to 100% it, because when I beaten the game, I was playing it so much that I wanted to try to see if I can 100% it. Now that Separate Ways is out, I may actually get back into it and try to see if we can actually 100% it. That's what I probably will do.